welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do just like a chill, informal Q&A. Haven't done one of these in forever. I asked over on my Instagram if you guys had any questions related to like pretty much anything, and yeah, thought it would be fun to just sit down and chat. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or some water, or like have a glass of wine for me in case you're brand new here. I am currently many weeks pregnant. No, I'm currently, oh my gosh, 32 weeks pregnant, 8 months pregnant. Can you even? Yeah, I'm currently 8 weeks pregnant. So like, apologies for the constant like out of breath, deep breaths, and just like mind fog, because that is just the name of the game currently. I also have a 5-year-old little boy and a 2.5-year-old little boy. Jeff is with them in the living room right now. So yeah, let's chat. I got some questions, divided them into categories. First questions are going to be about like pregnancy and the baby. Second category is going to be about moving, and like the bulk of the questions were about the pregnancy and then like the new house. And then I got some random Disney questions, so I thought I would save those for the end. So let's jump in. The very first question is, curious about your hypothyroidism and pregnancies. How has it affected your hormone levels? So first and foremost, love my endocrinologist. And if you have any concerns about your thyroid at all, like find an endocrinologist and they can help you out. I think especially having found a really fantastic endocrinologist during my second pregnancy, continuing to monitor my thyroid between pregnancies and then monitoring my thyroid this pregnancy has really helped and made the entire process so incredibly easy. So in terms of like my hormone levels, everything's been pretty stable and straightforward because I got on medication. I got on levothyroxine like right away during this pregnancy. My levels weren't like extreme. There wasn't anything like deeply concerning about them. From what I could remember, he had mentioned that like they were just, I think a little bit like above. It was either above or below. I can't quite remember. You're gonna have to forgive me. They were just like, I think it was a little bit above where like the endocrinologist wanted them to be. And so I'm on a really low dose of the levothyroxine, and I've been taking it this whole pregnancy, and I get blood work done for my thyroid every 6 weeks just to check it out, just to make sure everything looks good. And I'm actually due for more blood work, I think next week, and then I will stop taking the medication right after I deliver, and then I'll continue to get blood work done. I think I was getting it done every 6 months in between pregnancies, or like, you know, when I wasn't pregnant. So yeah, that all looked good. That I have not been concerned about, which is really nice. Nice too is like when you get all the blood panels done when you're like early pregnant, they can usually see if something is going on with your thyroid, and then your OB might have an endocrinologist they can connect you with. Next question, top baby essentials. So let's keep it super simple and straightforward when it comes to baby essentials, because I feel like nowadays there's 1,000,007 products and you're like, what the heck do I choose? I'll give you a few baby essentials, like newborn essentials, and then a couple things that I just really love. Essentials, diapers, duh, just get diapers. You need some diapers. Also clothes, like a baby clothes. Like I would say sleepers, the like 2-way zip baby sleepers, your newborn can be in those all the time. They don't need to like wear fancy outfits. They don't need to like, the outfits are cute. I mean, duh, like I'm surrounded by like cute little girl outfits currently, but the sleepers are like the perfect thing. Go look at Carter's. They're usually having like 1 million sales. Some sort of sleep. Where's your baby gonna sleep? We love this new bassinet. We actually just ordered it for baby girl. We used it with our with Theo, and it was just fantastic. Like it was great. So you need somewhere for your baby to sleep, so like figure that out. And then like essential, like, I mean, it's not essential to have like a newborn bath tub, but like it makes your life a little easier. This is essential, you need an infant car seat. So like, especially as you get closer to your due date, just like make sure that you have that, because they will not let you leave the hospital with your newborn without an infant car seat. And just a heads up, an infant car seat is different than a convertible car seat. I know some convertible car seats do support newborns, but I don't, like we've always had an infant car seat that like you can bring actually into the hospital. I think it would be fine if you had a convertible car seat that could support a newborn. They would just there's usually a nurse there who is like watching you, making sure that the baby is strapped in and like safe before they let you leave the hospital. So those are like the essentials. One other thing that I think is like a baby must have that I absolutely love and swear by is the Hatch sound machine. So really any sound machine will do, but just like some sort of sound machine, because I'm telling you right now, like for newborn sleep, that is like, that came in so clutch. With, I didn't have it with my first son, and like his sleep was all over the place. I can't say it was because we didn't have a sound machine, but like maybe it was because we didn't have a sound machine. And we did have it for my second son, Theodore, and like that was amazing. And now both the boys use one. We have one for baby girl. Like, I am the biggest supporter of sound machines. Get a sound machine. I'll link one down below. Next question, girl names you love but aren't using. So this is such a fun question. I don't know, there's like, I mean, you can only pick one baby girl name, right? So I guess there are a million that we didn't use. But when I think, like right off the top of my head, I'll say, okay, one we didn't use, Claire. I love the name Claire. I think it sounds so pretty, C-L-A-I-R-E. Claire is just like such a gorgeous name. It's old fashioned, so it fits like, I feel like right now trending are old fashioned baby girl names. And I feel like Claire really fits the bill. It doesn't fit the bill in that like you can't shorten it to like a cutesy like little nickname, which I feel like is really big right now. But I still think it's gorgeous. Another baby girl name that we love but aren't using, Victoria. I really love how like elegant Victoria is. And again, it's a very classic name. And then the last name is Sunday. So Sunday is like, falls into our almost like unique or trendy category. And it was definitely one that we had on the list, and one that like, I think had I like really loved it, I think Jeff would have been like, yeah, let's do it. Like he really likes it. I was the one who was a little bit like, oh, like, I don't know. And I think too, like, because it's our first daughter, like it wasn't a name that we were in our, like, it wasn't in our top 5, and it wasn't something I was like super in love with, but I thought it was cool. Anyway, so those are some names that we love but are not using. Another question was, which has been the hardest pregnancy and which the easiest? So it's funny looking now at all 3 pregnancies. I guess the hardest, this is so hard to answer because I don't know, they've each like had their moments of being hard and then also like not hard, especially like in comparison to, you know, friends or acquaintances that I've known who have had really tough pregnancies. But I guess I would say I threw up the most with this pregnancy, with my third. I threw up the most, so like that was hard. Hugo's pregnancy was the easiest in that I think like physically I was the youngest that I've been. So like, and I didn't have any other kids, and like I could just rest when I wanted to rest, and like that was easy. That being said, it was my first pregnancy, and it was like the first time I had gained, like felt what it was like to be pregnant, and like gained so much weight, and like just like was so swollen and so big, and that like the whole thing was very foreign. So in that regard it was hard. And then I guess like Theodore's pregnancy was like I guess like overall, I guess my pregnancy with Theodore was the easiest, and that like, I mean, we were home, it was 2020, and so we were just like quarantined, and so like we weren't doing anything, like I didn't have any like physical responsibilities to go anywhere. That being said, like I don't know, I don't remember, like I do remember being really, really tired. So I don't know, like each one has had its like hard and easy moments. So there's not one where I could be like, oh my god, that whole pregnancy was so difficult. I'll say that like the throwing up during this pregnancy has been really hard, and then just like running after 2 kids and like a house and like all that stuff, like that's for this pregnancy has been hard. But that being said, like I don't know, I really appreciate it knowing that like, oh, it's the 3rd baby, you know, doesn't last forever. And the last question is, why are you geriatric pregnancy? Or like, I am guessing like, why are you considered a geriatric pregnancy? I've mentioned that a few times in my videos. It's because of my age. So I'm 35. I was 34 when I got pregnant, and I turned 35 a couple months ago. And when you are 35, you are considered a geriatric or advanced maternal age in the US. And so honestly, I've been kind of lucky in that I haven't, like, there hasn't been anything during this pregnancy that like has like I haven't had to go to more appointments. Like nothing has happened really, other than the like 2 weeks ago going to the hospital thing and like them like, you know, taking, I mean, they would have taken it really seriously regardless, but I remember her saying like, oh, because you're advanced maternal age, like we need to do this protocol or whatever. So like, that was the first time where I was like, oh, okay, that's coming into play. But I mean, beyond that, it's been pretty straightforward. All right, moving on to the next category, house. The first question is, how many bedrooms does the new house have? And the new house has 4 bedrooms, I want to say. We're counting one of the spaces as a bedroom that like is like sort of a flex space. So 4. How far away is the new house from your current one? It's pretty close. It's not, I think it's like 25 minutes away, 25 minutes away, but it's not 25 minutes away in like a far away direction, if that makes sense. It's actually like closer to family and friends and stuff. So yeah, it's nice. It's not far. The last house question was, are the boys excited to move? They are. We brought both boys to the house for the first time a couple weeks ago. Was it a couple weeks ago? I guess it was like a week ago, maybe a week and a half. And yeah, they're really excited. Let's finish now with some random questions. Oh my gosh, my legs are getting so tired. Some random Disney questions. Okay, best moderate resorts. In case you didn't know, also, by the way, I used to work for Disney, and I'm a big Disney nerd, big Disney fan. Been to Disney like a million times, and so if you ever have any Disney or Disney vacation questions and you want to shoot me a message over on Instagram or DM me or whatever, like I'm always available to answer Disney questions. So this one says best moderate resort or best moderate resorts. I would say, in my humble opinion, having now stayed at Coronado Springs a couple times, Coronado Springs is an amazing moderate resort. It's categorized as a moderate resort, but it's definitely like you're getting the luxury feel, and that's something that you'll often read in like articles or threads, boards. I sound like an 80-year-old, but like, you know what I mean. They say that Coronado Springs is like a luxury resort. You're getting a luxury resort experience for a moderate price, and I couldn't agree with that more. The only downside, but like most moderate resorts are almost like motel style, where you're not getting a room inside a hotel, unless, especially at Coronado, unless you're staying in the Grand Destino Towers, you're gonna be walking to wherever your room is, and it's like motel style where you walk outside and then you see your door and you enter your room. And a huge complaint about Coronado Springs, but the same goes for like Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Court. It's just like that they're really big resorts and they're really sprawling, and so it's a lot of walking. But I mean, it's a lot of walking at Disney in general, so like just mentally prepare yourself for a lot of walking, you know, from top to bottom. I would say, yeah, Coronado Springs. And then a close second for me would be Port Orleans Riverside. I've never stayed at French Quarter, although it looks beautiful. Port Orleans Riverside is such a great resort, and I am huge on theming, and like you're at freaking Disney World, like go with a fun themed resort, because like it just keeps you in that Disney bubble. Must do attraction in each park. So in case you didn't know about Disney, there are 4 parks at Walt Disney World Resort in Orlando. You have Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. Magic Kingdom, oh dear. Magic Kingdom is like the quintessential Disney World park, and so like how can you choose? I'm gonna say either 7 Dwarves Mine Train or Peter Pan's Flight. I can only choose one. I'm giving you 2. Peter Pan's Flight, because it's a classic, because it's like one of, when you think of Magic Kingdom, it's like one of the rides that like, oh, just like really gets you in the heart. Like it's just one of the classics. It's, you know, it takes 2 minutes to get through. The line is usually about 4 hours long. So if you can get a fast pass, that's amazing. But yeah, that's a classic one. And Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is newer. It's just like a fun ride that like kids really love and kids really enjoy. Must do attraction at Hollywood Studios. Either the Rise of the Resistance. That was really cool. I'm claustrophobic, so there were aspects of that ride that I did not love, but it is definitely like a peek into the future of like what the potential of what rides are going to be in the future. I just thought it was really cool. Or here's the thing. My favorite ride at Hollywood Studios is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That's my favorite ride. It might just be my favorite ride just in general at Walt Disney World, out of all the parks. It is similar to Rise of the Resistance in like the ride vehicle and contraption, but again, like I think that's where rides are going, and it's just like, it's just such a feel-good ride. I love it so much. So definitely do that one. Definitely do Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. That's my favorite. At Epcot, I'm gonna say, okay, again, I have not done the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster yet, which I've heard from like truly everyone who's done it is like the best ride ever. So I'm just gonna go totally sideways and say Spaceship Earth. Spaceship Earth is the ride that's inside the big ball at Epcot, and I'm sure everyone's gonna be like, well, why not Frozen, or why not Remy's Ratatouille Adventure? But like, I don't know, it's a classic. It's like, it reminds me of old world, old school Epcot, and it's like a nice foundation for like what rides used to be and like the potential that rides had, and like now attractions are like so big and glitzy and like so technologically advanced. It's like kind of fun to do an older ride, you know? That's a great one. And then Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom's a tough one because there aren't very many attractions or rides at Animal Kingdom, and I for one am not a huge fan of the Pandora section of Animal Kingdom. So it's hard for me to choose, but let's say Everest. Let's say the roller coaster, the Expedition Everest roller coaster at Animal Kingdom. That's a fun one. And it was designed by Joe Rohde, who was an amazing Disney Imagineer. Pretty cool dude. So anyway, those are all the questions. I think those are all the questions. Let me just check. Oh, the last question was any Disney trips coming up? And unfortunately, no, we don't have any Disney trips coming up. There have been a few times where I'm like, oh, I want to, like, let's think about this or do that, but we have a baby coming. So sort of like limits our scope of like when we could take a Disney vacation. My only thought was like maybe we could like figure something out for next year when she's like, I don't know, 8 months old, 6 to 8 months old. But I don't know, we'll see. We don't have anything planned or coming up, but gosh, that would be awesome if we could go next year at some point. I know the boys would flip and love it. They talk about Disney a lot and how much they miss it. So friends, that's it for the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed this. This was like a fun to just sit down and chat with y'all. And if you have any other questions, you can leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye friends.